Brought in David Benavidez and you said you wanted to spar with Demetrius Andrade. Did you feel like you needed to drastically change your camp to get better sparring, or what was the reason behind getting those two world champions, former champions?
We didn't really change too much at all. We stuck with the same program. Going down to DC, this was my second camp down there. At that point in camp, my dad looked around. He said, who's the best guy we could spar with at this point to really gauge where we're at and what we're doing? And David was the one that came to his mind. I'm very appreciative that he and his dad and his camp allowed us to come to go out there and spar with him, get some great 10 rounds of sparring with him. It was great and competitive, and we were able to really gauge where we were at that point. Boo Boo is a guy who I've used multiple times through camps. I've even actually used him when I fought Devin Alexander. So he's not new to the program at all. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get the sparring session set up with him, but he did send me tons of notes, things to look over, so on and so forth. So we are more than prepared for this fight.
Shawn, how are you going to make this a dog fight and not just a pure boxing fight? Like a lot of the wrestling, the infighting.
I think maybe if anything, he may be saying things trying to get me out of doing that. I mean, let's be honest. We saw that with him and Mikey Garcia. He claims that he didn't knock out Mikey because everybody said he couldn't outbox Mikey. So he went out there to outbox Mikey. Point being, he heard what other people were saying about him, and he changed what he was doing. I'm not changing anything. Keith Thurman just said it himself. Go out there and do you. That's what I'm going to do.
Shawn, this is only the 11th welterweight unification in the last 40 years. Obviously, things like this don't happen too often. You were a part of, obviously a lot of big fights, Keith Thurman, Kell Brook, to name a few. What does this mean to you, though? Because this is a different level of big fight.
Yeah, this is a different level. At this point, I know I was bred for something. I was made for this, and I really am in trying to enjoy it all, trying to enjoy every moment, every opportunity I can. When I get in the ring, I really do want to feel so good and feel so great and be so in tune with my corner. That everything flows the way we want it to flow, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
Shawn, can you take a moment to show the back of your vest real fast?
Yeah, I was going to do that.
Shawn, do you think that...
Hold on, let's look at his...
I got a little man.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
How's fatherhood coming? How's fatherhood?
Oh, it's fantastic. This right here is Sweet Science. This is what we're going to call our clothing line, and this is what we're going to do. Everything is going to be tailor-made and whatever you want. We just stepped it up a notch. We hadn't been doing this before. Before the interior of the clothing was just really, really nice. We stepped it up a notch, and we got some really good images to put on the clothes.
Got something for tall brothers?
Got something for anybody. Anybody, you got it. You need it. We got it. Yeah.